Yeah, so today's theme is compassion, self-compassion. And it's all about us people, teachers, healers, refilling our cup. And we're going to start with centering, and you can choose if you want to lie down flat for this in your Shavasana, or if you'd rather sit in a chair or just come to seat of your choice on the mat, whatever you like. We'll just be for a few lovely minutes. And with that, as always, when we come into the space to center, the very first thing we're doing is finding the ground, letting ourselves arrive and ground into the present moment. So whether you're sitting or lying, when you feel the ground beneath you, see, can you let your weight drop a little? See, can you encourage a softening of your shoulders? Allow your thighs to be heavy. Feel the pelvis, whether it's the sit bones on your mat or the back of the pelvis, feel it resting down. Check that the spine is long. And then scanning your body, is there anything that's calling out to you today that needs maybe a little bit more care and attention? And then coming into your breath. And we're going to start by just noticing the breath, especially that end of the exhale. So as the next breath comes in, following it all the way to the top of the inhale and down to the end of the exhale, and to see if you can let go a little bit into that pause at the end of your breath. You might find your thoughts winging their way around the place. You might find that you've forgotten what you were doing or a little bit distracted. That's okay. Noticing that, and just see if you can use that end of the exhale, that pause, as a little anchor point. So even if you don't watch the whole breath, just being there for that moment. And then at the next end of the next breath, when you come into that pause, just retaining a pause for a little bit longer than you normally would. And as you breathe in deeply into the belly, really feeling expansion on the inhale, intentionally breathing, and a really slow exhale then from the navel all the way up and out. And taking your time, 2 or 3 more breaths like that. Continuing with long breaths, but bringing your awareness to your own intention for yourself with a sense of love and compassion to yourself. What would be the nicest or the best thing that you could get out of the next hour of yoga? Is there something that you'd really like to feel, or something that you're working on? Or maybe you're just happy to go with a sense of compassion, just letting yourself flow. And either way, as we breathe out the next time, we're going to very gently start to move fingers and toes. Rub the hands together. Place the hands over the eyes and gently blink the eyes open. Okay, give yourself a lovely stretch. Big namaste, welcome. And from here, I'm going to invite everyone down to the floor if you can. Now, if you're at work doing this at lunch break and you can't, you can do this in the chair as well, it's fine. But if you can come down to the floor, do. And we're going to come into constructive rest pose. So with the feet placed on the floor and the hips resting down, If you're in your chair, you're sitting tall. And from here, we're just going to gently draw the right foot up, catch the back of the leg, and give all the toes a little wiggle. Moving with love to your feet. When you've done that, then you can give the ankle a circle. Maybe go the other way, maybe draw a love heart with your toes. And then from there, just giving the whole of the leg a nice big stretch out. And when you're ready, releasing that leg down and coming back into neutral. Noticing the right side, noticing the left side, noticing all of the toes. Then gently drawing the left leg up. Again, catching the back of the thigh if that's easy for you. Starting with just the toes, moving with love to the toes. Your awareness is so powerful. And where you send your attention matters. When you're ready, making circles with the ankle. Just real sense of compassion and love to your leg and your foot for all it does for you. Change the direction when you want to. Play a little bit, maybe draw a love heart with your toes. Your favorite shape. And when you're ready, then stretching that leg out, noticing how it feels. And when you're ready, releasing it down. So we're back in our constructive rest pose. We take both knees up, hands onto the knees with the fingers pointing towards the toes. And then gently circling the hips. Now, if you're in the chair, you'll have to skip this one, maybe do a stir the porridge kind of movement instead. And changing the direction then whenever you're ready. And as I said, everybody here, all yoga people, if move in a way that you like to move. So if you want to do a happy baby here or rock side to side, just for the next few moments, feeling it out for yourself. And then whatever movement you're making, connecting with the breath. And as you breathe out really slowly, breathing out and down into the pause, making your movement smaller and slower. And coming to rest in the pause. As you inhale, slow movement. So really slow everything down. And with your exhale then coming into pause. So we have these gentle pauses in between very slow, gentle movements with sense of compassion and love to the back body, to the legs. To the beautiful person that you are. And if you feel like that's just the business and you want to stay there doing that, you can. I'm going to invite you though, if you're ready, is to roll to the side and come over to all fours, or rock up and down the mat and come over to all fours. Gorgeous. Oh, I just love lying down on the floor. We get to our all fours. We're going to take a moment to just rock side to side with the hips. And from there, if you want to close your eyes, do and just organic movement. Does it feel good to circle? Does it feel good to do a semicircle? What feels good here for you today? And invite a little bit of cat-cow in as well. So rather than keeping the back, really long and sort of very neutral here, allow the spine to start to move as well. So maybe moving through cat-cow or getting out of that kind of back forwards thing and taking it round in a circle of cat-cow. And then again, yogi's choice. If you're happy here, you might stay doing this or coming up and down into cat-cow. Or other option is to slide the legs back down the mat, come onto the tummy so that we're getting ready for a little cobra here. Nose to the floor and then inhale, lifting the heart and just coming up a little bit and then lowering back down again. Using the connection with the floor and your breath to push your tummy into the floor and lift. And as you exhale, lowering down, nice long spine. And continuing with that for maybe 3 or 4, baby cobras. Gorgeous. When you're ready, whether you're on all fours or you're down on your tummy, we're going to all move back into hare and meet in hare or child. I'm going to say hare because we'll move from here to downward dog. So hands out in front, fingers spread, and the head between the arms, just sinking into, letting the upper body weight sink into the legs to sink down into the mat. And reconnecting here with your own intention or with how you're doing right now. Starting to move, how's the energy? Now, option to come back here anytime you want, but for now, let's bring it all up onto our downward facing dog. So curling the toes under, hips come back, knees stay bent, and we're stretching back, sit bones towards the wall behind us. Very good. Nice long spine. And again, you're all yogis here. You can feel free to paddle out the legs or to rest into stillness. What feels like it's going to serve you better here today. If there's something that you're working on in this pose, bringing your awareness to it. If you're finding that you're checking out mentally and it's just too much, coming down and back up again, rather than hanging on in there. And then invitation for everyone, if you're not in downward dog, to come up. And then let's come up on the tippy toes. So bringing the weight forwards up onto the tippy toes and then rolling back onto the feet, pushing the hips back. So it's kind of rolling forwards up onto tippy toes and rolling back, keeping the back body nice and long. And massaging the bottom of the feet. Don't worry if your heels don't come anywhere near the ground. From here, we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. So crisscross walking up, or maybe you hop today. But if you like to just crisscross walk up as far as feels okay, bend the knees deeply, bring the hands to the heart, push with the feet, and let's come up into standing. Very good. Our compassion, our self-love. It doesn't mean that it's always restorative lying on the floor. Sometimes the self-love is the tapas, is the moving, isn't it? So we're in our mountain pose, taking a moment to anchor down the feet. Let the arms be down by the sides of the body for now. Maybe give the shoulders a squeeze up towards the ears and a gentle roll back and down and letting go with the shoulders. I'm going to go through one round of sun salute. You can do it with me. You can do your version. You can play a little bit and come back to hare if that feels better for you today. But for me, I'm bringing the hands together at the heart center, bending the knees a little as I breathe in, stretching up, opening out. Hands to the heart all the way down, folding forwards into the forward fold. Right leg is coming back, knee down, toes out. Sit in, stretch up to the sky. Bringing both hands down to the floor to frame the front foot, curl the toes on the back and step back, taking a nice breath in. As we exhale, the knees, chest and chin come to the floor. Release. Hips and feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lengthen and lower. And pushing all the way back up into downward facing dog. And come through table or downward dog. But we're stepping the right leg up to the right hand. Or grab and shove if you need to. Release the left foot and inhale, lift everything. Exhaling both hands down to the front of the mat. Curl the toes, step forwards. Hands to the heart, bend the knees. And inhale and lift. Bringing everything back down through the center line, folding from the hips. Fingers to the floor, left leg back, knee down, toes out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, both hands coming back down to the mat. Curl the toes on the back and step back into your plank. Breath in. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Release the hips and feet. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lengthen and lower. Curling the toes under. And pushing up and back into downward facing dog. Now left leg comes all the way up to the top of the mat. Right knee down, toes out, and inhaling, raising the arms. Exhaling, hands to the floor, curl the toes and step forward. Inhale, hands to the heart and stretch up and open up. And then just hands to the heart and releasing back into mountain. Gorgeous. Standing for a moment in mountain to feel the warmth, the energy, the love our heart pumps around our body. So we're going to go through a couple of standing poses. If anybody wants to shout, I'm looking here is where I see you guys online, and there is my camera. So if you see me looking, that's why. If anybody wants me to do any specific pose, just unmute and shout, or just give me a wave and let me know, okay? Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and do what serves you. You know, you can modify or adjust anything. Well, let's start with our chair pose. So we're going to start with standing in mountain pose. Thumbs come into the crease at the top of the thighs, the bikini line. Let the weight go a little bit into the heels and start to sink back and sit in, coming into our chair pose. From there, bringing the hands to the heart and testing out how we feel today. Inhale, maybe lengthen and lift a little bit out, and exhale, sink in a little bit and see, you know, where's my edge? Where does it feel good? Where does it feel strong? If you want to open out the arms and create that big space in the front, do. Close your eyes and breathe. Staying here for another couple of breaths. Dropping into that pause at the end of the exhale. And drawing the hand back to the heart and pushing through the legs to come out, stretching up and opening up and releasing the hands all the way out and down. And give the shoulders a little roll there. Really good. So from here, we're going to move into our forward fold, standing forward fold. I'll just demonstrate it actually first. Okay, so we'll go with flat back to begin and then see where you want to go. If you want to use the wall, you can come onto the wall, step back and walk it down with the flat back. So yogi's choice again, important to open out the feet. And we'll start again with the thumbs at the crease at the top of the thigh. Bend the knee deeply and fold, letting the sit bones rise, pelvis lifts towards the sky. Coming into flat back, maybe hands are on the shins, the thighs, maybe they're further down the leg. Use the breath in to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, sinking in. And if you're feeling really good there, you might let go all the way into that forward fold, letting the neck and head relax and way down, drawing you in further. Again, staying here for a couple of breaths. Let's say another 3. Then very gently to come out, bend the knees a little bit more, bring the hands onto the heart center and lift with the chest, keeping the spine nice and long as we stretch up and open everything out to the sky, and then releasing the hands down. And both of those poses quite strong. So I know I said compassion, now we're doing strong poses, but can we come in and find a little bit of ease and feel how strong we are and be kind. That's our basis, isn't it, of how we can be kind to ourselves and others. Is our foundations, our strength is our foundation. Let's come into, nobody's jumped on with any requests, so I'm going to come into triangle from here. Another strong pose. We'll take the feet out, toes in, say the width, like mat width or a bit wider, but see how it feels for you. Should feel nice and stable here, toes in, heels out. And let's bring the hands to the hips to begin. We're going to lift and rotate the right foot and all of the legs, so swiveling on the heel out to the side and placing it back down. From here, you can bring your right hand onto your right thigh. Now this is a little bit different than some teachers do, but micro bend or bend a little the knee, the right knee, roll the thigh out, slide the hand back up to your, so you feel your pelvis, and push the hips back. And as you push the hips back, the front leg will straighten. That's great. Extend the right hand over to your right. And then from there, we're going to let the right hand come down, palm outwards. The left hand coming down and circling it all the way up, stretching and opening the rib cage up towards the long edge of the mat and the fingers to the ceiling. And if it's easy to look up, you can, or you can just look straight out in front and breathe into the side body. Now, if you're not finding this tough, you made it stronger stuff than me, find where's a place I can release a little bit here without losing my work in the pose. Can I drop a little of the weight into the feet, or maybe I can soften my jaw. Maybe I can extend that exhale into that pause and release somewhere. When you're ready, bend in the front leg to push up and out. And let's bring the hands all the way back onto the hips. Turn that right foot in, so the toes are in and it's at an angle. And lift and rotate the left leg all the way out. Same thing here, little bend in that front knee, maybe roll the thigh out a little bit, hand to the leg and slide, I'll go here, you'll see me better. Slide that leg straight and pushing the hips back. So you get that movement. Extend the left hand out. If I really want to reach out somewhere there. And then that left hand comes down, body stays where it is, back is nice and long. Looks great, Tanya. Inhale, circle the other hand all the way up to the sky. Lovely. Hopefully feeling really open. And if you're feeling the waist, nice bit of work there, that's great. Again, I'm going to stop talking so you can follow your breath here. Find yourself in the pose. And find the place of rest in this pose. And then on the next breath, bend in that front leg to push up and back. And we're back to the start, hands onto the hips. And turning the feet to face forward again. So looking at the time, doing great, it's half. I'm really flying today. All right, never like this on teacher training. It always takes about 3 hours to go through the class. We're going to go for our warrior two pose because you know that's my favorite. And what's scarier on Halloween than a warrior? So let's go out wider with the legs if you have the space. The back foot comes in at an angle. We're lifting and rotating the front foot all the way out, opening out through the thigh. Let's bring the hands to the heart to begin and bend the front knee to sink in straight down the middle. So we're staying nice and long and tall here. We're not going over to the front. From here, expand out through both arms and looking out over the longest finger on your right hand into the future. I did have a witch's hat, but I forgot to bring it. As you inhale, sit a little taller. As you exhale, sink a little deeper. On the next breath out, as you come to that pause at the end, release the hands down. Inhale, push back to center. Turn that right foot in, and the left foot's coming all the way out. So we're finding that nice wide stance, going the opposite way. Very good. From here, we will start with the hands on the hips, bending the front knee and think about sinking down, rolling that left thigh out to the side. So knees going over the middle of the front foot and spine, tails going down towards the floor. Good. You all know your thing. So if you're working on a little bit of core crunch in the middle or that length in the spine or the shoulders, you do you. When you're ready, we bring the hands all the way out, looking over the longest finger. And we're going to again stay for maybe 4 or 5 breaths here. So where can you find a little bit of love in this? This is the mommy making you brush your teeth kind of love. Gorgeous. Pushing up and out when you're ready. Hands back to the hips. And let's walk those feet back in. So walk heel toe in your feet, or if you want to jump, feel free. All the way back into standing. Gorgeous. We'll do one balancing pose here. I think it's nice for the day that's in it. And I was thinking dancer pose. How are you feeling about dancer? Is anybody like, no, we want something else? Dancer good, or warrior 3 is their option. Do dancer. We get the thighs away. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So going to plant down through, I'll do the mirror, your left foot. So you're going to plant down through your left foot, opening out all the toes, letting that leg know it's your base, it's your anchor, pushing down into the floor. Taking the right foot, and let's bring the right hand, both hands onto the hips for now. Right foot, we're coming on our toes and we're sliding it back to let the front of the leg know something's coming, something. And then draw it back so that the knees are parallel. Both right knee is bent, left knee is micro bent. We're bringing the heel towards the bum. See if you can bring your hand and catch your ankle or your foot. You can have it on the inside arch or on the outside. I prefer the ankle on the outside. Up to you. Now, left hand is going to go up in the air, straight up, 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 up. Right leg is going to start to push back into that right hand. And as it pushes and stretches back, we're going to let the upper body follow like a seesaw, like a balancing act. So we don't go forward too fast. Find your own gaze point, something to look at to help you balance. And again, we're staying here to breathe and feel it out. To the end of our third big breath here, we're going to inhale up to center, trying to control it on the way out, all the way up. Release the foot, bringing both hands all the way down, back into mountain. And the pause is so important, isn't it, in yoga? So let's find our inhale and our exhale and pause. and feel the two legs and the two sides of the body, how they are after that. Gorgeous. All right, you know what's coming next. We're going to shift the weight into the right foot now. So letting the right foot know it's taking your weight, spreading the toes. If you know your toes go out to the side, drawing that big toe in. You really need it here. Hands onto the hips to begin. Bend the right knee tiny bit, just there's a bit of give, and left leg a lot. Stretch the left leg back first of all. Give yourself that little stretch. And then drawing the knees parallel, bend the knee. Right hand comes down to catch your trousers, your ankle, and if none of this is working, a belt is amazing. Right hand goes up to the sky, left hand on left ankle. And then from there, we're going to start to push back into that back foot. And as you push that back foot away from you, you're letting the front body come forwards as a counterbalance. Very good. Breathing there. This is easy. Find the pause at the end of the breath. And then coming to the end of the next exhale, as you inhale, drawing the hand up to the sky, everything back to center, nice and controlled. And then release, hand and leg down. Well done. Give everything a little shake out. Shake, shake, shake. Shake what you got. That's it. Is there any final movement that you want to make in standing? Maybe you want to be a big X, I'm here. Maybe you want to do another forward fold. Your yogi's choice standing pose while I switch over the cameras. And then we're going to make our way down. Gorgeous. And then you could go wider than that, I think. Gorgeous. How's everybody doing? Yes. All right. So, we're doing okay. So we're going to start. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold with a generous one, nice and a nice one for everybody. And then we'll do little back bend, a little kind of finishing off, and then a little bit of pranayama and relaxation. And I promised everyone I'd be absolutely finished by 2, and I promise I will. So when you're ready, again, if you want to do a different thing, that's fine as well. But if you're coming with me, coming down to sit on your sit bones, and from stick pose, we're going to walk the feet out. Walk them out to where you go, oh God, I can, whoa, that's as far as I go. And then bring them in a bit. So we're kind of going to like maybe 80% of what's our range there. We don't need to be going the whole way. And then let's bend the knees a little. So bending the knees and drawing the knees up to feel your sit bones really plant down through the ground. Hands come into the heart. And we're going to sit in our big X. So we're going to stretch and open everything out like you're just waiting for the world to give you everything you've ever wanted. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands around and give ourselves a big, big hug. Gorgeous. Bring your hands open out again, big, big stretch. And then the opposite hand on top, big, big hug. And you're probably going, my legs are working here. Good. So I love you and you're great, but we also all have to do the work, don't we? So there you go. We're going to stretch it all out one more time. This time go up towards the sky and then forwards as though you're trying to reach something out in front of you. You can let the knees bend as much as you like, feet stay active, and then fingertips come down. And then you have a choice. You can stay there with your back really lovely and long. You can walk the hands back even to get a bit more lift in the chest and a really neutral spine. Or maybe you feel like, oh no, And you can creepy crawl your hands all the way up onto the middle of the mat, or maybe onto your feet or your ankles or backs of the knee. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. So whichever you've chosen, go with it. Find the pause at the end of your breath. From here, we bring in our hands in to support us and walking the body back up to seated. Taking your time, bring those legs in. If you really like, yeah, I love this, I want more, you can walk your feet back and do a like little boat there, just throw in a bit of core. Again, up to you, or we can have a little hug here. So you can do both, you can do either. We're going to move from there down onto our back body. So when if you're on your boat, hopping back down again, if you're in your kind of sitting child's pose, coming up off that, and then we're going to bring the whole body down. So come into constructive rest pose. Feet are on the floor, knees above the heels, long back body, hands down by the sides of the body, palms turned down for now. And finding a place where your feet can support you, because we're going to lift into a bridge and hold the bridge today. So, spread those toes, heels in a little. And when you're ready, shoulder blades together, towards each other anyway, and lift off tail, pelvis, all the way up into your bridge. The heart's coming towards the chin and you're looking up towards the ceiling, or your eyes can be closed. And you can leave the hands down by the side of the body, spreading the fingers. Or if you want to interlock them underneath and stretch them down towards your heels, that's also an option. Again, just breathing into the pose. Can you find the pause at the end of the breath and let something go here? When you get to the end of the breath that you're on, releasing everything back down. Coming to constructive rest pose, and then drawing your knees into your chest and giving the knees a hug, knees to chest pose. If you want to exhale and squeeze the tummy and draw the knees in, inhale and create a little space. Just one more breath here. And then option to catch the feet and rock and roll up the mat, or roll to the side and come up. But we're going to come into sitting just for a few minutes before our relaxation, just to do a tiny bit of pranayama, because it's so powerful. And yeah. So come into a seat of your choice. You can sit easy cross-legged, you can sit in thunderbolt, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, that kind of goddess pose. So whatever feels good for you here. But you can sit tall and easy. And today we've been really just going with a longer natural breath and finding those pauses. So we'll start there. As you breathe in, feeling the expansion. And as you breathe out, coming down into that pause, and slow that exhale a tiny bit if you can. And when you get to the end of that next exhale and you've slowed it really down, and feel the beginning of the inhale, just wait for the beginning and following the inhale all the way up to the top. There's a pause at the peak of the breath. And then as you exhale again, slow exhale into that pause at the end of the breath. And as you do that, can you feel the moment that the breath begins? Where does it start? Where does it come from? This is really deep meditation for you. You want to stay with it, do. If you'd like to try some alternate nostril breathing, bringing do the mirror here, the right hand up towards the face, the left hand supporting the elbow. We can bring our index finger and middle finger to the forehead, keep the back long. As we inhale through the right nostril and close it with the thumb. Exhale through the left nostril, inhale through the left nostril, close and swap. Exhaling through the right nostril. Inhaling through the right, take your time, you can go slower than me. Swapping and exhaling through the other nostril. Don't worry if you make a mistake, we're breathing in through one up to the forehead, pausing and exhaling through the opposite. Inhaling through that second nostril, pause and swap, and exhaling. The next time that you exhale through the left nostril, just releasing the hands back down to the lap or the knees, and just allowing the natural breath to take over. If you're familiar with Ujjayi, I'd like to give it a go. You're bringing a tone onto your throat, and you're breathing in a really deep breath in with that tone on the throat, and exhaling. Not sure, don't worry, just keep going with your breath. When you get to the end of the exhale, then releasing any effort you're making. You can keep the eyes shut if you like, and gently make your way down into lying on your mat for our relaxation. If anybody can't come to the floor, that's okay. You just come to sit in a comfortable position. We'll be about 10 minutes, just make the most of it, drop in. And so we're finding that really comfortable Shavasana position. So classic for relaxation is to come into lying on your back body. Your legs are hip width apart, a little bit wider if it's comfortable. Letting the feet rest out to each side so that the thighs roll out and the legs relax. Feeling the back body supported. And then bringing the arms a bit away from the body. with the palms of the hands facing up towards the ceiling and the fingers gently curled. Checking that the spine from the tail to the top of the head feels really long. The neck is long and supported. Shoulders are soft. And the muscles in the face are soft and relaxed. From here, let's bring awareness to the right side of the body. And before we do that, remembering your own intention for your practice today. And the theme was compassion and refilling your cup. I know everybody here has lots going on. And taking this time out in your week to pause, to get supported, to be with your peers full of light. And now we're going to bring attention to the right side of the body. And I ask you to imagine or feel that as you touch your attention off each part, you're dropping a little drop of self-love or care, or even just compassion and non-harming to that body part. And starting on the right hand thumb, the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the little finger. And then the palm of the right hand, the wrist, the elbow joint, the shoulder, and all of that right arm. And then the right shoulder and the right side of the chest and collarbone, the rib cage, the right side of the waist, right hip, the right thigh and knee, calf and ankle, the right foot, the sole of the foot, top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the baby toe. And all of that right foot, all of the right leg, the right knee, the right hip, the right shoulder. Awareness to the right side of the body. And then letting that go, and your awareness like a beautiful light just shifting across to the left side of the body now. And that same intention of compassion and non-harming to each part of the body on the left side. The thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, the palm of the hand and the wrist, the elbow joint, the shoulder, the side of the collarbone and chest, the rib cage, waist, the left hip, the thigh, left knee, the lower leg, the foot, base of the foot and the arch of the foot, top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toe. All of the toes on the left foot, all of the left foot, all of the left leg, all of the left side of the body. Feeling all of the toes now, all of the fingers, palms of the hands, the wrists, the heart center, the navel, the right knee, the left knee, both legs, the hips, the back of the body resting down, the back of the heels, calves, thighs, pelvis, low back, middle back, upper back, the space at the back of the heart, the space at the back of the heart, both arms and shoulders, all of the fingers, the back of the neck, the back of the head, top of the head, tip of the nose, right ear, left ear, the forehead, right eye, left eye, the weight of the eyes resting down, the cheek and the jaw, the throat, the heart center, the navel, the sacral area, the base of the pelvic floor and the groin, back of the knees, soles of the feet, the whole body resting down, letting go. Allowing your body to drop and empty into the floor. Allowing your breath to fill you with light and love and compassion for yourself and all beings. Feeling the breath coming, feeling the breath going. Noticing the breath in the chest, noticing the heart center, breathing in and feeling the lift and expansion of the heart. And as you exhale, feeling the letting go. Counting in 27, breath out 27, breath in 26, breath out 26. Continuing at your own pace, counting down the breath. Don't worry if you lose count, just coming back to 27. Don't worry where you've got to, releasing the count on the breath, letting go of any effort you're making to count that breath. Noticing the breath now in the tummy. Noticing the rise and fall of the navel as the breath breathes you. No effort. And then beginning to count the breath of the navel. Breathing in 27, breathing out 27. Continuing with the count. 26, 26. And again, just letting go of that counting, but just starting to be aware of the breaths breathing you, navel, chest. Maybe you can feel it in the nostrils, the throat. And just allowing the breath to breathe you, the whole of the body. Gentle movement as the breath breathes you. Imagining the ocean, waves coming in on the shore, waves going out. Sense of peace and calm. Sense of continuity and endless depth. Deep ocean. Stars in the sky. The light of the moon on the water. And coming back to your own intention. for you, for yourself and your yoga, and repeating it to yourself. The yoga nidra is coming to a close, beginning to notice the sounds of the room that you're in, maybe the sounds of your own breath. Noticing the whole body resting down and gently starting to move your fingers, your toes. Maybe rubbing the hands to create that warmth and placing them on the eyes and blinking open gently, coming back into your everyday. And if you want to roll to the side to come up, you can stay if you like, you're at home. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Would have done another hour.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely wonderful.
You're so welcome. Thanks a million.
Thanks. Namaste.
Thank you for coming along, and I hope it's really good. See you all soon on the mat. Yeah.